What's up, everybody? Truth Seeker here. It is not widely known or reported that Nikola Tesla believed he had communications with someone far across the galaxy during his career, and as a result, he had been influenced to invent a UFO device which was patented with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Nikola Tesla described his first encounter as being like the revelation of a great truth. He stated, "I can never forget the first sensations I experienced when it dawned upon me that I have observed something possibly incalculable consequences to mankind. I felt as though I were present at the birth of a new knowledge or revelation of a great truth. My first observations positively terrified me, as there was present in them something mysterious, not to say supernatural, and I was alone in my laboratory at night. But at the time, the idea of these disturbances being intelligently controlled signals did not yet present itself to me. The changes I noted were taking place periodically and with such a clear suggestion of number and order that they were not traceable to any cause known to me. I was familiar, of course, with such electrical disturbances as are produced by the sun, aurora boreals, and earth currents, and I was as sure as I could be as any fact that these variations were due to none of these causes. The nature of my experiments preclude the possibility of the changes being produced by the atmosphere disturbances, as has been rashly asserted by some. It was some time afterward when the thought flashed upon my mind that the disturbances I had observed might be due to an intelligent control. Although I could not at the time decipher their meaning, it was impossible for me to think of them as having been entirely accidental. The feeling is constantly growing on me that I have been the first to hear the greetings of one planet to another. A purpose was behind these electrical signals. The world owes Nikola Tesla many thanks for his amazing works and inventions that we, in the modern era, think little about. His development of alternating current generators and motors are still in use today, over 70 years after his death. However, Tesla had a different side that many people might not have known about. Tesla believed he may have had contact with extraterrestrial beings. Tesla was motivated by the sounds to build bigger and stronger radio wave transmitters with the intention of once again reaching out and communicating with these creatures. He built huge magnetic transmitters in Canada, Colorado, and Long Island. It appears that he was never able to initiate contact with the sounds that he heard. He only received and attempted to interpret what he heard. However, this contact with the perceived extraterrestrial life may have inspired the great genius Tesla to invent a vehicle that could fly and visit these beings. It is rumored that in the early 1910s, Tesla invented and patented a flying saucer type ship akin to the ones seen in movies and recalled by alien encounter survivors. Though it is said that the U.S. Patents Office accepted Tesla's unique patent, there is no record of it in the list of Tesla's patents. However, there is a patent in his name for a method of aerial transportation, which is VTOL, or vertical takeoff and landing. VTOL is the way that flying saucers would have to take off and land, so it is not outside of the realm of possibility. The signals are too strong to have traveled the great distances from Mars to Earth, wrote Tesla, so I am forced to admit to myself that the sources must come from somewhere in nearby space, or even the moon. I am certain, however, that the creatures that communicate with each other every night are not from Mars, or possibly from any other planet in our solar system. In the book Tesla, Man Out of Time, there are alludes to missing patents and files from Tesla's work. Additionally, after Tesla's death in 1943, the government seized many of his papers and patents for fear they would get into the hands of the enemy Axis powers. His work on beam weaponry became a source of fear for the U.S. government, and though they released some of his missing papers to a museum dedicated to Tesla in Yugoslavia, It is widely theorized that the government still holds on to many of those missing papers. The FBI has series of documents regarding Tesla in their web archive, but no apparent mention of the UFO patent. Tesla's UFO, or IFO as he identified it, was designed to minute detail the type of engines, the monitors to display data, even the eyes of the ship that the pilot could see through. Unfortunately, his design relied on free energy provided by his own transmission towers. Since those towers were never completed, neither was his prototype of his spaceship. The world may never know exactly what Tesla had in mind for the future of space travel. But we do have a pretty big idea about it now that we know about this. And we do know that it may be possible. Tesla's tower at Wardenclyffe was what was going to power this device to begin with. In 1901, Tesla purchased 200 acres on Long Island, North Shore from James Gordon. These 200 acres were a part of a 1,800 acre potato farm along what is today Route 25A in Shoreham, New York. The site became known as Wardenclyffe after the former owner. Here, Tesla established what would become his only remaining laboratory. Previously, after immigrating to the United States in 1884, Tesla had worked on all of his major projects at various laboratory sites. These included Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, New York, New York, Orange in New Jersey, Colorado Springs in Colorado, and finally Wardenclyffe, New York. The purpose of Wardenclyffe Laboratory was the establishment of a wireless telegraphy plant. The prestigious architectural firm of McKim, Mead, and White was contracted to design the laboratory and transmitter tower 187 feet high above the ground and 120 feet deep below ground. Stanford White became the architect for the building. Tesla's plan had the initial backing of the financier J.P. Morgan. The red brick laboratory building can still be seen on the north side of Route 25A between the intersection of Randall Road and the Shoreham Fire Department. During the last week of July 1903, residents around Shoreham's site experienced what was to be the only testing of Tesla's equipment at this facility. 7 days after this test, his dreams was destroyed when creditors from the Westinghouse confiscated his heavier equipment for non-payment for service rendered. In addition, James Gordon sued Tesla for non-payment of back taxes. In 1917, the 187-foot tower was destroyed by dynamite explosives. It was demolished the same year by the Smiley Steel Company.
We send energy. All energy to the outer shell of the Earth, the ionosphere. Energy from the sea, the wind, energy from the sun. We no longer need to burn or destroy anything. We simply take what already exists and put it to our use in unlimited quantities.
I believe all this is possible.
But I have proved it already. Everything is in that file. All we have to do is apply it.
Adams,
Yes, Commodore.
you've seen all this?
Yes, Commodore.
One single source of energy. That's what this means. Right, Tesla?
Yes, that is right.
And anyone can draw on it, anyone in the world.
The Earth's outer shell, remember, goes around the whole planet. Yes. Power will belong to everyone. Like the air we breathe.
Listen, if that lunatic can really do what he says he can do, have you any idea what's going to happen?
No, sir. One source of energy, that's what's going to happen, just one. So anybody at all, can just stick an antenna up in his backyard and hook into it, and we won't have anything left to sell but antennas. We'll be producing the power, and anyone who feels like it can milk our cow for free. Well, no thank you, Mr. Tesla. I'm not contributing to that charity. Write him a letter, Adams. Have it ready for me to sign in the morning.
Yes, Commodore. What shall I tell him?
Tell him goodbye.
By the end of his brilliant and tortured life, the Serbian physicist, engineer, and inventor Nikola Tesla was penniless and living in a small New York City hotel room. He spent days in a park surrounded by creatures that mattered most to him, pigeons, and his sleepless nights working over mathematical equations and scientific problems in his head. The habit would confound scientists and scholars for decades after he died. In 1943, his inventions were designed and perfected in his imagination. But what his contemporaries may have been lacking in scientific talent by Tesla's estimation, men like Edison and George Washington clearly possessed the one trait that Tesla did not, a mind for business, and in that last days of America's Gilded Age, Nikola Tesla made a dramatic attempt to change the future of communications and power transmission around the world. He managed to convince J.P. Morgan that he was on the verge of a breakthrough, and the financier gave Tesla more than $150,000 to fund what would become a gigantic, futuristic, and startling tower in the middle of Long Island, New York in 1898. Where would we be without Nikola Tesla's inventions to begin with? The powers that be didn't like his idea of allowing people to have power for free. They didn't like that. An unmetered power system? How dare he? So they made a genius die a poor man in a hotel. That shows you how powerful the deep state really is. They're stopping us from evolution, or at least they're trying to. They're slowing us down. We should be way more advanced than what we are right now. But because of the deep state and always wanting us to depend and rely on their services, it will always be halting the brakes on us. We'll always be dragging an anchor until the deep state doesn't no longer exist. So sad that someone with such intelligence had to go out like this. But now the whole world knows who he is. And let's not ever let history repeat itself again. Let's recognize any talent that actually exists out there. Intelligence, critical thinking, and engineers that are trying to actually change the world should be revered and never squashed like this again. Just think, folks. Anti-gravity would have probably been something that the public would have had access to by now. Instead, we know who actually does have access to it, and that is the powers that be. But I'm Truth Seeker. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We also now officially opened up our online web store. You can now get Seeking the Truth, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and other accessories. This will definitely make a great gift idea, and every purchase will help out this channel. The link is in the description below.
Hey everyone, this is Josh from Seeking the Truth. We're able to support our channel at our Patreon address. You can just go to it right here at the top, and you can make a pledge. $1 would be fine. $1 a month, $2 a month. A cup of coffee, you know, like Christopher Green would say, the price of a cup of coffee would help keep this continuing on. And a shout out to all the people that are already supporters. And Be glad to throw every new supporter also into the video end credits, and it just help us out so much. Thanks, everybody. Please subscribe to our channel, like our video, and comment below, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace! And don't forget to click the notification bell